ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। Many a times people find it useful to learn techniques of meditation. Various reasons. And meditation is recommended. It has benefited a lot of people. So according to different teachers, your practice of meditation could vary. For those who believe in the personal form of God, they want to meditate on the form of the Lord. That is called as Rupa Dhyan. So where do they get the information for Rupa Dhyan? If they are into forming images through words, through reading, then when they read about certain qualities of the form of the Lord, they form an image of the Lord. And that is what they meditate on. There are others, they may need visualization. So either they see a picture or a painting of the form of the Lord, or they see the deity in the temple, and that becomes the object of meditation. So since the mind now has a goal, and the decision to have this goal is a conscious decision. So till the time we keep we keep this as the goal in our minds, we find that it's possible to meditate. However, there could be many distractions. So, in the attempt to meditate on the form of the Lord, one may have to see how to overcome these distractions. We use our intelligence, we use our determination to do that. So people may find this easy. According to some teachers of Vaishnava tradition, chanting of the names of the Lord is also very helpful. That is called as Nam Kirtan. So, a lot of times one may include both the processes. One may practice Nam Kirtan along with Rupa Dhyana or meditation of the form of the Lord. And it is okay. However, Nam Kirtan itself is a form of meditation, where you meditate on the holy names of the Lord. So again, how do you form the image of the Lord? Of the holy names? You either read about the holy names, its glories, and you form an image. And then you start meditating on the holy names of the Lord. Or you may picturize certain symbols which indicate the holy names of the Lord. So in the English language, you have certain symbols called the alphabets. So wherever you see those words, or according to your mother tongue, you may have various other symbols. So when you see that, you either keep it in your house or you see that in the picture form or painting. So you can meditate on it. Ultimately, the mind has to be free of images and still meditate. The reason is we can start off by having an image and meditate. The only problem is that if you find a better image, like a better painting, better calligraphy, or deities that seem to be more attractive, the mind gets distracted. So at one point of time, you have to be free of mortal images or images that are formed by humans. So, for that, hearing is the only process. Because when you hear, you conceive of qualities and not just the caricature. So, hearing becomes very important. So, those who want to really have the mind focus in meditation upon the absolute truth, they come to the platform of just focusing on hearing. Either you hear the holy names, or you hear about the qualities of the Lord, or you hear scriptures. Regularly, you read scriptures and you let scriptures play in your mind. That takes a lot of practice. You either let the holy names constantly reverberate in your mind, or you let the activities of the Lord or the qualities of the Lord regularly, constantly, consistently reverberate in your mind. So, in the beginning, you start off with the form that you like, the form that you can relate to, knowing very well that our tastes change. So, if you feel now you have a better option, then the mind becomes distracted. So start off and then proceed to the stage where, through hearing, one can keep the mind focused through the process of hearing. However, even if one is not able to do that, there are a lot of benefits. If one is not able to come to the platform of focusing the mind on the sound of the holy name, or one is not able to come to the platform of focusing the mind on the qualities of the Lord as we hear in the scriptures. Still, because we have attempted to focus the mind using material means, using the means that we have at a disposal, human means, that is also beneficial. And for this, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukdev Goswami relates about the life of Ajamil. Everyone knows about the story of Ajamil. Everyone has heard the story of Ajamil, no? So Ajamil was a very hardworking, honest young fellow, young boy. He received very good education. So he was quite pure at heart. In his teens, trying to render some service, some follow some instruction that was given to him, he goes into a forest, or he has to go through a small forest. And there he sees a man and a woman exchanging affection. He's never been exposed to that. So Jamil becomes distracted. It was like a pop-up on the screen. So he clicked on the pop-up, it went to a site that you would not want to go to. So Jamil was distracted by that site. Very soon, that kept on playing in his mind, and he could no longer focus on his activities in life. So very soon he got married. He had a lot of children. In the Bhagavatam, it is said that he had about 10 children. Somehow or the other, he named the youngest Narayan. And was completely engrossed in having or being overtly attached to his children. Very, very attached to his children. Sometimes his children themselves would want some privacy, and he would not feel happy about it because he just wanted his children around him. He just wanted to be with his wife. So now, so how you feel uncomfortable when you don't have your own private space? So his children felt like that. That was the kind of, somehow he developed that kind of intense attachment to his children. Life went on, he became very old and invalid. He was on his deathbed. Suddenly, he had a vision of the agents of Yamaraj, the Yamadutas, that had come to take him away to Yamaraj's court. He had that vision. Maybe you really have to be too intensely involved, like unhealthy involvement in affection in this world to have a vision of Yamaraj. If you fall short of that, you won't have a vision of Yamaraj before death. You may have it after death. So Jamil had that kind of vision. He was very afraid because they were really scary. So he called out to the only object of affection that he knew, his son Narayan. As soon as he called out for his son, he said Narayan. Then agents of God, four Vishnu Dutas came. In the Bhagavatam it is said that there were three Yamadutas and four Vishnu Dutas. They came and they said that, all right, he's got a free ticket to Vaikuntha now. So the Yamadutas were not happy because they would get commission. They want to lose their commission. So there is a discussion. And he has been so sinful throughout life. He doesn't qualify to go to Vaikuntha. The Yamadutas convinced him that actually just by chanting the name Narayan, he has gained a free ticket out of hell. The Vishnu Dutas never said that he has got a free ticket to Vaikuntha. First they said that, yeah, because he chanted the name of Narayan, he'll go to Vaikuntha. However, that would be the final destination. So practically, Ajamil had to spend some more time before he could go to Vaikuntha, the kingdom of the Lord. So just by chanting the name of Narayan, without really taking shelter of Narayan, he got the benefit. So that is a story about Ajahn. So if you're meditating and your meditation is still dependent on your abilities, your human abilities, that is also good because it gives benefit. However, that is not sufficient. Yes, one will be free from the reactions that one has to suffer. That is a benefit. One will most probably get liberation too. That is also possible. However, one would not get an opportunity to go to Vaikuntha. Nonetheless, it is helpful. And to substantiate this point, the Vishnudutas, they give citation and we use it as praman, we use it as proof. This is a citation from given by the Vishnudutas from Srimad Bhagavatam. There are a couple of ways that one may not be serious in a chanting of the Lord's name. Sometimes we may be talking on the phone or things like that. Have you done that? How many of you all chant the holy names or do some kind of puja every day, chanting mantras or something? How many of you all do that? All right, not every day, but occasionally have you? Occasionally you've done that with mantras. No, some mantras, some prayer. Do you remember those moments where you're doing a prayer? Let's say you're going with the mantra Om Pavitra Pavitro or something like that, or some other mantra. Hmm? Hmm. Jai Hanuman Jnana Guna Sagar, Jai Kapish Loka Ujagar. Some prayer. Do you remember those moments where you're like Jai Hanuman Jnana Guna Sagar, Jai Kapish? Yeah, take that. Loka Ujagar. Or Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Those moments you remember? So that is called as Sanketya. Sanketya means there is some connection to the holy name. You are not aware, the Lord is aware. You are not aware of it. But the Supreme Lord is aware. So what is called that called as Sanket. There is Sanket. There is some reflection. Is that all right? Then have you ever like you are in some kirtan arti anywhere like Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jai, and maybe you dance a little bit. Have you done that? And then you look at your friend, Govinda Jai Jai, his name is Govind. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jai, Govinda Jai Jai. So jokingly. So first is Sanketya. Your mind is diverted somewhere. And then you jokingly do it. Jokingly is like, anyway, hey, Govinda Jai Jai, Govinda Jai Jai. And as soon as somebody says Govinda Jai Jai, Govinda Jai Jai. Huh? Or just like that, you're in the middle of, you're standing in a line. I'm speaking about India, just any any place, any random line, huge line, suddenly Govinda, Govinda, everyone goes Govinda, those who know about it. Just bizarre. So what is that? That is called as parihasya. What is it? Parihasya. Jokingly. Still, it is a holy name. So you may do it jokingly, you may take it as a joke, somebody takes it a little seriously. That is the Supreme Lord. So we are not aware that we are distracted while chanting the Supreme Lord, accepts it as reflection. In Parihasyam, he accepts it as at least taking my name even as a joke. Sometimes when you are angry with someone, let's say you are angry with some of these condevotees, they are not Hare Krishna, not Govinda. So basically, you want to criticize, you're critical. So you want to be critical, but there's someone that takes it as at least you're chanting the name. All right? So that is called a stobham. Stobham is also considered to be when you simply you chant the holy names as an entertainment. When I sing, I like to do bhajans, but without musical instruments, I cannot. So even that has been considered to be stobham. All right? Like you may remember some song from the days when you used to watch movies or you used to hear some singers sing, isn't it? And now, based on that tune, we chant Hare Krishna or we chant some bhajan based on that tune. So, whenever you want to remember the tune, first you remember that song. Like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. So A, B. Now, if you don't remember the tune, what are you going to do? In your mind, you're going to play A, B, C, D, Hare Krishna. Yes. So Hare Krishna, Hare. So that is called a stobham. It's not very easy for you to sing, so you take the help of some song, a mundane song, and then you try to use the tune. Or you use the holy names in a very critical tone. All these Govinda people, they are all thieves. Alright? So that is called as stobham. And sometimes when you're like, uh, you wake up from sleep or you're going to sleep and you're practically blacking out, or when you wake up and you're not even aware that who I am, what I am. However, in that moment you say, Govinda. That is called as Helanam, neglectful chanting. Helanam. Alright? So Sanketyam Parihasyam Va Stobham Helanam Eva Va Vaikuntha Nama Grahanam Asheshagha Haram Viduhu. If someone is engaged in chanting like this, then there is a possibility Ashesha haram. Whatever sinful reactions remain, they can be completely mitigated by chanting Vaikuntha Namagram, chanting the holy names of the Lord. Alright? And for that, the story of Achamil has been given. Similarly, in the Vaishnav tradition from South India, there is a reference to the alvars. There are 12 of them. So the 10th alvar, they have written so many, they have given us the writings that is called as pasurams. Divya Prabandhan has so many pasurams. So within that, they exemplify various teachings. It is in Tamil. Pasurams are all in Tamil. So there, Vipranarayan, one of the alvars, he says that Nama Kirtan is very, 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 very benevolent. Rupa Dhyan is important, but Nam Kirtan is very, very benevolent, very merciful. And to explain how merciful Nama Kirtan is, he gives the example of a person from Vishnu Dharma, the literature known as Vishnu Dharma. So there is a literature called as Vishnu Dharma scripture. So this person's name is Kshatrabandhu, born in a very respectable family. The family is very traditional. The family is very, very particular about their religious duties. Kshatrabandhu is least interested. So after trying their best to see if he can follow the family customs, traditions, they give up. So they send him away. They say, please leave. Now you have grown up, you're an young adult, so please leave. Shatrabandhu is like, yeah, I'll leave. And then he says that, but hey, ancestral property, I also have a claim over it. So they gave him a cow. And there is a local boy that is a family that will serve them. So that family agrees to let their boy accompany him to assist him. So he has a cow and a boy. He leaves the place. Life becomes difficult for him now. So the cow is in her milking phase, so she gives milk. So that somehow the other helps him sustain. He takes the milk, he sells it, so he makes some money. So it becomes very important for him to take care of the cow now. He has no idea how to take care of the cow. So it's completely dependent on this boy. After 10 to 12 years of a life full of struggles, somehow his life takes a turn. He starts wondering whether his family traditions and customs had a meaning. Did he make a mistake? So he was kind of questioning things in his life. Fortunately, unfortunately, whichever way we want to look at it, there comes a passing sage. sage meets up with him. So he says, "Oh, I have seen such people when I was young." He has faint memory about it. So he says, maybe I should ask him about all this confusion that I'm having. So he has a talk with the sage. So after the talk, he is he understands the situation where he feels very concerned. The sage tells him that whatever you do in this life, you have created reactions for it. And if you're not very learned about how to perform actions, then the reactions are not going to be helpful for you. Those reactions are going to be very troublesome for you, which is true. For example, if you don't do well in an interview, then the reaction is going to be troublesome for you. If you don't know how to cook, then the reactions are going to be troublesome for you. If you don't know how to get your clothes washed, then the reactions are going to be troublesome for you. Or if you wear clothes that are not very clean, the reactions are going to be troublesome for you. Now, if you wear clothes that are clean, the reactions are going to be helpful for you. So, is it difficult to understand the law of action and reaction? No, not really. If you take good care of your teeth, then most probably in the future you're going to have trouble free teeth existence. But if you don't take good care of your teeth, then most probably in the future you're going to have a lot of teeth issues. So there are some reactions that immediately either trouble us or benefit us, and there are some reactions that trouble us or benefit us after certain amount of time. Simple, isn't it? It's quite simple, right? Now, if you're not careful about your sleep cycle, then the reactions are going to be troublesome for you. True? Oh, no. I can do with only 2 hours sleep. I can do only 4 hours of sleep. Very nice. Then after 10 years, 12 years, when you have all this, I feel very nervous. I'm always in anxiety. All of those neurogenic issues because your brain has been constantly on the alert. So very sensitive now, highly sensitive. Now you try to change your sleep pattern. It will take another birth. So troublesome. Either take medicines that make you feel sleepy throughout the day, or wait till next birth. So reactions are there. So Kshatrabandhu realized that there are going to be reactions. So he asked the sage. He asked the sage, "What is the way out? What do I do?" So the sage made mental calculations because he had had a talk with Kshatrabandhu. So he kind of realized that the do nots are so many here that the reactions to those do nots is going to take a long time for him to recover. So even if I give him some remedies, the list is so huge that it's going to take a long time for this person to recover. So he's wondering what should be done. Now the sage was thinking that should I ask him to chant the holy names? And the sage knows that since already he's built up this mechanism against the do's with the do nots, it will be so difficult for this person to chant the holy names. Very difficult. Sage was really, really wanting to help, and he did not understand what he could do. So he asked him, "What are your assets? You've told me about your life. Tell me something about your assets. Who are there in your family?" He said, "No one, because my family kicked me out 15 years ago, so practically no one." "So are you by yourself? Do you live alone?" He said, "No, I live with a cow." He said, "Oh, you have a cow?" "Yes, that is the lifesaver for me. If the cow weren't there, I have no skill sets to earn money. The cow provides money because her products help me out." He said, "Oh, one to do box ticked." In the sage's mind, one box ticked because, according to sages, cows are very, very beneficial, sacred. Right? He said, "All right. Anything else you'd like to tell me? So, do you take care of the cow?" He says, "I don't know how to take care of the cow. In this 15 years, I do not understand the ABCD of cow care." "So, who takes care of the cow?" "Oh, I have a boy. I have an assistant." "Acha." "Yeah, Govinda." He says, "What?" "What did he say?" So the Kshatrabandhu becomes a little fearful. "What did I say?" He says, "Govinda." The sage is shocked. He says, "Did you just say Govinda?" He says, "Yeah, that's the name of the boy." This is, so the sage asked him, "How often do you take this name?" He said, every time. All my work I have to get done through Govinda only. If I have to go to sleep, I'll say, "Govinda, please prepare my bed." After I wake up from sleep, I say, "Govinda, please prepare my bath." If I have to eat, I say, "Govinda, please prepare food." If I have to sit down for eating food, I say, "Govinda, is the food ready?" Then if I have to take care of the cow, I ask him, "Govinda, where's the cow?" "Govinda this, Govinda that. When the sage heard him like that, "Govinda this, Govinda that, Govinda here, Govinda there, Govinda up, Govinda down," the sage is like, "My God, this is Hari Sankirtan." So the sage was very happy. He said, "Just continue doing this. As much as you can, just do this." He said, "Will I be getting benefit from it?" Because I realize in life now that things are not working out, breaking away from all these traditions, and I find it very difficult to go back to traditions. He says, "I know, I was wondering, what should I do for you?" He says, "What should I do? What can I do?" He says, "Just do this." He says, "Just do this. Will this help?" He said, "Yes. Just anytime you need any work done, just call. And even if you don't have any work done, always call out for Govinda. Tell him to come here, go there. Just say Govinda this, Govinda that." Many, many years he just did that. Well, now he was ready to trust his sage, because in life, when you have nowhere else to go, then you trust anyone that is there. No? So Govinda, 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 Govinda. Finally, at the end of life, he did not do any welfare work in his life. He couldn't even take care of a cow. He couldn't even prepare his own food. He couldn't even take care of his personal needs. Completely ill equipped as a human, other than just eat, sleep. Other than that. But Govinda this, Govinda that. So the time of death comes who? The Yamadutas. All right, Kshatrabandhu's son, come with us. Vishnu Dutas arrives and stop. He said, "Why?" He comes back to Vaikuntha. He Says, do you know? No welfare work, did not ever help anyone, couldn't even carry out his own personal duties, just to eat and sleep in life. They said, yeah, but what can be done? He's always said, Govinda, bring this, Govinda, bring that. So then the Yamadutas and Vishnudutas have a conversation. And they said, if this is how the holy name is going to work, then people are just going to misuse. So the Vishnudutta said, you are Yamduts, right? Y'all are also devotees of the Lord. Can you tell me some of the names of the Lord that you know? They said, yeah, Govinda, Gopal, Hari, Narayan. And do you know how many names of amongst this, how many names was he taking? Only Govinda. They said he never misused the facility given by the holy name. Never misused it. He never realized that he could chant the names and get benefit from it. So that is the power of the holy names. Even if you do not have the intelligence to understand the benediction that the holy name offers, if you chant the holy names, it gives you liberation. However, if you have used your intelligence to understand what the holy names are, and then you do not perform well, or you think that I can trick my way, so that is hypocrisy, and hypocrisy is not tolerated. So, for most of us, we cannot have the same benefit as Shraddha because you already know the glory of the holy names. So, our only route now is to try and be sincere. So, Sanketyam, Parihasyam, we can do all of that and there's going to be benefit. Jokingly, you can take the holy name sometime in crisis or sometimes in anger. You can say, Hey Hare Krishna, Hey Govinda, something like that. It will give benefit. However, that benefit is not going to bring us back to Vaikuntha. It will keep us in the cycle of birth and death. It will wash away all the sinful reactions, but it will give us another birth. And in that birth, we accumulate another sins again and back to square one. So, there is another stage that isn't mentioned where one does not have the strength or the ability to completely dedicate oneself to the holy name, but because one has strong faith in the holy names, one is trying to chant the holy names and take shelter of the holy names. That is called as Shraddha Namabhas. So in Shraddha Namabhas, our mind gets distracted. We have not overcome our weaknesses, but we have strong faith in the holy name. Not strong faith in the sense that the holy names will protect me from all sins, so let me do all nonsense. Not that kind of faith. The faith that if I chant the holy name sincerely, the holy names will give me shelter and benediction. So, if that is the intent and that is the desire, with that faith, when one chants the holy names, and even if it is not completely sincere, it is called as Shraddhanamabhas. And that holy name brings us very close to chanting sincerely. Very close. Even if one gets another birth, one is assured that because one had that intent, even if one gets another birth, one is assured that in this birth, right from birth itself, there will be sufficient impressions or sanskaras to sincerely chant the holy names. And therefore, sometimes you find, I'm not saying that that is the only reason why it happens. Therefore, sometimes you find that since their birth, certain children are completely dedicated to spiritual life, like young Shankaracharya, young Madhvacharya. I'm not saying that in the past lives they're not complete. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there are others like that. I'm just giving examples of great saints here. Similar to that, we may find other children who are very, very sincere since their birth. Why? Because Shraddha Nama Bhas allowed them this opportunity. However, if with great faith we go on chanting the holy names of the Lord, and it will take some time, with faith we continue, it is quite possible that before death we come to the stage of sincere chanting, sincere shelter, taking sincere shelter of the Lord, which is called as dhyan, nama kirtan dhyan. All right. So let us all try and understand the great benediction that we have received in this present time, that simply by chanting the holy names of the Lord, which is the most merciful form of the Lord, we can achieve a glorious destination. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments? All right, so we'll stop here. Oh, sorry, yes.
So, as you said that if we chant the name of God, it kind of mitigates the sins that are done. And I mean, if I'm taking it correct, is it possible? Like we know that we are in the human life, and our ultimate goal should be to achieve moksha and not to get into the cycle again. So that that's why we are trying to just chant and get out of this whole cycle of birth and death. So, suppose in the past you have committed some sins intentionally or unintentionally. If once we realize that and whatever life we have remaining, if we kind of now get into the whole path of devotion, is it possible to completely nullify those sins in the same birth and then just get out of the cycle and then achieve moksha? Is that possible?
There are references to that possibility happening.
Okay.
A lot of references like that. So, yes, based on those references, I would say yes. All right.
Be like that person. Say Govinda all the time, 24 hours. Keep on saying. Then it might, yeah.
Okay. Yes.
But you did mention that you look at deities in one place and then you look at some other place and you find out okay they are more attractive than that. So is there anything that does it have any consequences if you see deities differently, like one is more attractive, other is not as, or something like that?
Consequences, not really, unless and until you start doing something stupid. You start, when I say unless until one starts being a little racist. The challenge there is the mind would not be able to focus because now it has at least 2 points of two focal points. So there's distraction.
So it's best to see.
For example, let me tell you this story. Um, Krishna and Arjuna were having a talk, and on the chariot there was Hanuman. So Arjuna said that, my dear Lord, if Hanuman is such a great devotee, how do I know it? So Krishna says, all right, you go to Hanuman and tell him that I'm calling him to Dwarka. Your Lord is calling you to Dwarka. So Arjun goes to Hanuman and says, Hanumanji, your Lord Krishna is calling you to Dwarka. Hanuman is like, oh, Lord Krishna is calling me to Dwarka. However, I'm so fallen. I'm so unqualified. How can I go to the Lord? So Arjun comes back and tells him that he is having all these humiliating moments. So Krishna tells him, now go and tell him that your Lord Ram is calling you to Dwarka. So Hanuman, Arjun goes there. He says, your Lord Ram calling you to Dwarka. Boom, Hanuman's gone. Where is Hanuman? So he comes back to Krishna, my dear Lord, Hanuman just disappeared. Hanuman was right there. One focal point. All right? It's helpful. Hence we use the term Ishtadev. Ishtadev means the object of our focus. When the gopis see Narayan, they're like, Lord Narayan, do you know where Krishna is? Ishtadev. When they see Krishna, they don't say, Krishna, do you know where Lord Narayan is? And Hare Krishna. Anything else? Yes.
So, I'm very new to this, and
Welcome.
I often think like, how do we have like a certain lifestyle like, due to whatever reasons, and we have a definite amount of time that we are devoting each day to, let's say, chanting, listening, reading. Uh, but eventually, I don't know if I'm correct. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Like, our goal should be to increase that time and that you know devotion in different ways. But living in this country or whatever future we see over here in terms of our life, um, I see that that increase in the time or increase in the service. I don't see it happening. So, do you think the place matters? Like, should we plan our life in such a way that we get into a more conducive environment in terms of the place as well? I do hear people go closer to temple and all that, but generally, what would be your advice to someone who is looking at some growth?
Everyone has individual preferences, so according to what they are comfortable with, they can either include or exclude from their lifestyle, personal preferences. Having said that, I would like to ask if you know the story of the uh, Pandit and the cobbler, the devotee and the cobbler. Okay, so there was a devotee, full day engaged, very eager to know when Lord Narayan would give liberation. There was a cobbler, had a lot of work to do in his business, so could only remember the Lord whenever the cobbler had time, which would generally be mornings and evenings like that. So Narad Muni, he felt that both of them are equally qualified because both of them have very intense desire for the Lord. So he went to Lord Narayan and he asked him, my dear Lord, which of these devotees will first come to Vaikuntha? The Lord said, the cobbler will come this lifetime. I said, which of these devotees? The Lord, oh, you are, yeah, I told you. No, no, what about the devotee? Then, it may take a few more lifetimes. So Narad Muni is confused. Lord Narayan tells him, go down, meet each one of them. Tell them that you came from Vaikuntha, you saw me. Most probably, definitely they are going to inquire what I'm doing, what am I doing in Vaikuntha, how am I? Tell them I'm trying to pass an elephant through the eye of a needle. Not I'm trying, I'm passing an elephant through the eye of a needle. So Narad Muni goes down. First he goes to meet the devotee. The devotee is like, oh, you're coming from Vaikuntha, what is Lord Narayan doing? Now first he asked him, uh, did you talk to the Lord about me? He said, yes. Did you ask about my liberation? He said, yes, the Lord said it will take you many lifetimes. He said, many lifetimes? I don't think so. Because since morning to evening, I'm doing everything that I'm ticking all the boxes. If you had been to Vaikuntha, tell me what was Lord Narayan doing? Passing an elephant through an of needle. Ah, that proves you never. Why would the Lord do such a stupid task? So Narad Muni said, oh, now I understand why it will take you some more lifetimes. So then he goes to the cobbler. The cobbler says, Narad Muni, please have a seat. I'm coming from Vaikuntha. Oh, wonderful. Would you want to know when you're going to be liberated? Well, wherever the Lord keeps me is all right. The Lord said, this life you're going to be liberated. He said, oh, my Lord is so wonderful. I mean, just because I've taken shelter of Him, even though I do not have any other qualifications, throughout the day I'm working here at my shop, still He is going to liberate me in this life. Would you like to know what the Lord was doing? Oh, yes, please. Passing an elephant through the eye of a needle. He said, oh, wow.
No, this line is not clear when you say passing through. Like, I'm
Passing
not
an
getting that.
passing an elephant.
Taking an elephant and putting the elephant through the eye of a needle. A small needle
Oh, okay.
and a big elephant, putting it through the eye of a
Okay,
needle.
okay. He's doing that.
हाथी को
I
सुई
got
के
it.
आंख में
I
से
got it. I got it.
आर पार कर दिया. Then my Lord is supremely powerful. You believe that He can do that? Don't you think it's a stupid thing to be stupid? Why is it stupid? That's called nano engineering. So how do you know that? See this banyan tree under which I'm sitting? There are so many fruits on this banyan tree. One banyan tree has hundreds of fruits. Each fruit has innumerable seeds in it. Each seed has a banyan tree inside it. So there he's just passing one elephant. Here he has passed so many banyan trees into each seed.
Yes.
So Narad Muni says, okay, you've understood the science through realization. Whereas the devotee has done the tasks.
Very nice.
Doesn't mean that if we are not going more close to a temple, it is all right. I'm not saying that. Those are individual preferences.
Your work is your worship. Do each and everything dedicating to God. That's what you can do throughout the day.
Yeah. Just we would like to add that work has been defined by Krishna. Work cannot be defined by us. It is Krishna that has defined that if you cultivate the field with rice seeds, rice saplings, then you'll get rice. I have not defined that. Therefore, work as defined for by Krishna or for Krishna. You can put that in brackets if you want. Otherwise, there is a possibility that we may think that our work is most important and it is blessed by God. So that could bring in the idea that I am the Karta. Krishna is simply somebody who has to accept him. Is that all right? Anything else? Yes.
So, Prabhuji, the example which you have given just now, I was thinking that what is better, like Jnana Bhakti or Prema Bhakti?
Mhm. Even no bhakti is better if if you can remember Krishna. Smaranam is the only activity that has been sanctioned by Krishna um, to give us liberation. Antakale chamameva smaranam. So if you're entering bhakti, it should help you in remembering Krishna. If you're studying Gyan, it should help you in remembering Krishna. If you're engaged in work, it should help you in remembering Krishna. So Smaran, Krishna Smaran. Is it alright? If you're chanting holy names of Krishna, it should help us remember the holy names. Is it alright? So although it is, the statement that I made is completely fallacious, that even if you're not doing any bhakti, if you remember Krishna, it's just to um, stress on this point. Remembrance is important. And how do we remember Krishna? For that, we can cultivate knowledge. For that, we can cultivate service. For that, we can cultivate hearing, chanting, so on and so forth. Is that all right? Any other?
No, just because you talked about Smaranam and the sloka also from the 8th chapter, right? But generally we focus on hearing and chanting as the first two steps because Prabhupada says Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So is it because only by hearing and chanting can we come to the stage of Smaranam? Is that the reason?
Presently, considering the abilities of human population in general, hearing and chanting is the most practical thing to do, especially chanting. Most practical thing to do. Smaranam. You're driving on the road and Smaranam. Don't remember Krishna there, please. Focus on the road. All right. You can chant. So, most practical thing to do. Today we have skyscrapers. During the time of Ramayana, only one person seemingly had a skyscraper. That was Janak Maharaj. That is a reference. Today we have a skyscraper. You can any moment fall down. So we have created a civilization where it is very difficult to practice other forms of service. So, in the generic sense, hearing and chanting is most easily practicable. You can practice it most easily. Hearing and chanting must lead to smarana, not on the road. In the morning when you sit down to chant, or in the evening when you sit down to chant. When you're on the roads, please. Otherwise, Krishna has to come and drive. Krishna only drove Arjuna's chariot once during the war, not before that, not after that. So when you're cooking, please focus on what you're cooking. Don't start remembering Krishna and then Krishna has to come and cook for you. Is that all right? When you're drinking water, don't remember Krishna while drinking water. Remember him before. Because you start remembering Krishna and it goes into the wrong pipe. You're going to choke and drown. Does it make sense? So remember Krishna before. As you're gulping, you may remember Krishna in the mind, but gulp, remembering that it should go into the right pipe. The reflex action should work properly. Otherwise, you could choke. Is it okay? That all right? Anything else? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.